designers, how's it going? I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. The chances are, if you're an interior designer, you have wondered about this before and you have wanted to start it, try it, especially during COVID time. I know that a lot of people wanted to start something from home. So let's talk about e-design. I'll talk about what you need to start an e-design business, how you do it, and pretty much I'll answer any questions that you have, even how much you charge. So let's start by a definition of e-design. What is e-design? It's an interesting concept and it's an affordable choice for homeowners or small shops or small businesses in general. You can hire interior designers from all around the world. The cost of living is different from one country to another, and that's why it's like more affordable to hire someone from somewhere else. Interior e-design services started because people wanted to hire people that they like regardless of the geographical location. So basically it's providing anything an interior designer can provide, but it's all remote, it's all through the internet, it's all through Zoom calls and other communication through the internet, emails, things like that. So let's start by the basics. What do you need to start an e-design service? First of all, you need a license. Wherever you are in the world, I know that you can obtain a license for interior design services. I know in Dubai we have DED Trader and they provide you with a license to practice interior design. You can do it online. So you have to understand that you need to file your business, you need to create a business name. If you're eligible in your country to file for taxes, you need to do that as well. And of course, a portfolio, kind of something to show you work for the clients. You need to create a business plan and marketing strategies. Just because you're doing something over the internet doesn't mean that you don't need all of those essential basic things. I can help you with those. I provide coaching for interior designers if you want. I'll leave a link down below. And also there is a bunch of softwares that you can learn. I know that some people even use Canva. There's people who use PowerPoint. There are people who use SketchUp. It depends on the deliverables that you are willing to provide for your future e-design client. And I know that it might seem daunting because there's a lot of things to consider, but it's actually really fun. And I think the best part about, you know, starting an e-design service, which is, by the way, I have it on my website, I just started it officially on my website, it's like connecting with people all around the world. It's shopping for those places that you don't have in your own country. That means that the limit is literally the sky because everyone is accessible to you and you're accessible to everyone as well. Your design services are. So your first step would actually decide where your people or clients will live. Where are those people on social media? Who are they? What age are they? This is all a part of the business plan strategy. Like, you have to build a business plan, but you need to understand your audience very well. What are their names, ages, everything that you can think of? Write it down, create a profile. This is a really fun part. It's a fun exercise. I mean, we do it in design school, but I think also as an e-designer, you need to build a profile for those people so you can niche down and get more clients. If you don't niche down from the beginning, it's very hard for you to find your people. So that would be the first step, is defining your audience. Your second step is actually creating presets for those clients, because the chances are, after you create the business plan and marketing strategy, you will need to go ahead and fulfill those requests. These kind of templates make it easier for you to be quick with your process. And that's why, even if you're not getting clients, it's important to build up your name little by little and understand how you can market. I really suggest you read the one-page marketing plan. I think I'll make a video about it because I think there's a lot of value, and I'll tell you some lessons I learned as well along the way in the marketing game. You can purchase some of those templates on my website. Again, I'll link it down below. And these templates are the following. First of all, you need a guide on how they can measure their spaces, because measurements are like the top priority. And maybe you can even create a video on how to create a floor plan with the measurements. And creating these kind of things will help you get things quicker. The second thing that you need prepared is a questionnaire. A questionnaire asking them all about who's living in the space, what kind of functions do they need, how often do they use the space, what kind of things are they expecting, what colors they like, what colors they hate, anything that you can think about and that you initially ask any interior design client, you need to ask it to them. Creating a questionnaire as well, sending it to them filling it out will make your life easier and you can refer to it at any time. The thing you need from them is inspirational pictures. So the chances are they have an inspirational little folder on Pinterest where this is what they want for this certain room, because usually you fixate over these things, and I know a lot of people who did not even get married yet, they have wedding folders. So I know that every client have a Pinterest account. If they don't, you can still ask them for pictures that they like, so you can catch hints of their style and what they like. You know, can even ask them questions about those pictures. The fourth thing is MEP plans, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing plans. These are important if you're designing kitchens or bathrooms. Of course, you need to have a service agreement, which is the last thing that you need to provide to the client, so you can exchange information. But a service agreement needs to indicate you have no liability over these measurements because they were provided to you over internet virtually. So you need to add that clause to your service agreement. Very important if you're getting MEP plans, and that the contractor needs to double check, because you can't take responsibility if you're overseas. Actually, I don't encourage you to take responsibility over these things, even if you are within the country, because it's very tricky and it's very risky, and plumbing is a whole different, you know, situation. So I do encourage you to study that before you go ahead and do it. But also, like, these are important for kitchen and bathroom layouts. For our last bit of this video is the deliverables. What kind of deliverables do you need to deliver to the client? First of all, of course, we have the mood board. Mood board is a way to communicate the ideas, and also a way for them to have like a cheat sheet, so they know what materials go and what kind of things they need to purchase, and if they have like a certain style of sofa that you added within your design, like this is what the style that they need to follow, you know, color scheme, things like that, all is within this mood board. Second thing you need to deliver usually is paint codes. Paint codes can be tricky, but there are ways or systems, there are ways to obtain catalogs from different companies. But if you're going to provide paint codes, then you need to be sure about them. Wallpaper is the same game. You can order samples. For example, if you order from Marble Walls, they can deliver to you anywhere in the world, and it depends on your timeline, but it's important to obtain samples before you can go ahead and give them the definite, you know, paint code. But you can tell them, like, for example, a Pantone color, because it's more universal, or something like Benjamin Moore. I know it's also international, so you can opt for brands that are international. You can obtain the samples from everywhere. So be very careful when you're giving the paint codes to your e-design client. Third thing you usually provide is floor plans with dimensions. Of course, a floor plan is a floor plan with furniture, and of course you provide the dimensions so they know where should they place anything. And with that, you need to include elevations. For example, if you have a gallery wall somewhere, then they need to know how they can fix those pictures. So please be aware of that on dimensions, and be very careful with your dimensions, because most likely they'll follow it. But again, you need to add a clause in your service agreement about this particular thing, about measurements, and then they need to double check, because these are all sizes that were provided by them, measurements that were provided by them. The fifth thing that you need to deliver as well is 3D renders. Well, it doesn't have to be renders. Usually you can create them by Photoshop or Canva, or you can even create it by sketching. It's just to show the 3D picture or the 3D area, so they can get a better view of the situation. I go up to even provide them with videos, so they can get a better feel of the space and understand how the layout is gonna work out. Because, you know, put yourself in their shoes. How are they observing this plan, and how hard is it for them to understand it if they have no reference, you know, or if they haven't studied interior design? How are they observing this particular plan that you're sending? So it's much better if you provide them with a 3D view of the room with clear indications, of course. Also, a lot of designers opt for shopping lists, and that's the fun part, is that you can shop literally anywhere in the world. Like, you can go ahead and check US furniture stores, you can look it up, you can research and see what do they provide. There's always the classic online stores as well, like CB2 and other websites like this. I forgot the rest of the websites, but you get my idea. You can shop online. Also, some designers opt for lighting plans. Lighting plans are very important for most people, but again, if you're gonna get too technical, you need to consult a lighting designer, especially if it's a big area, and especially if you need like a specialty lighting, you know, you need to understand what kind of scope do you have. Last but not least, custom details. If you are building something custom for them. You need to understand how it's fixed and how they can send it to their carpenter. And again, their carpenter needs to double check, especially if it's a built-in, of something that fits exactly within one nook, because they can't be sure of their measurements. We interior designers have issues with measurements all the time, although we have done it for a while. I can speak for myself, and I know that a lot of you have the same issue, maybe not, but basically that's the idea, is to get your back covered, but to also help them as much as you can to execute the right vision. Now let's talk about charging. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Money. Well, I have looked online. There's a lot of designers that follow different approaches. There are designers that have pricing by the square foot or the square meter, which is a really good approach if you're doing e-design, because you know the approximate time, or maybe you don't, but you can actually test that and you can do a faux project, see how much it took you for your time. That will help you kind of estimate. But the average rate that I saw was $1,000 per room. $1,000 per room will give you all of those deliverables that I talked about. You can also get some help from the designer along the way, and I think it includes up to 2 variations. So if they decided to change their mind, they can do it up to 2 times, and then you can charge extra. But that's the average rate, $1,000. If you have experience, that's the average rate. And if you don't have experience, you can go to places like Etsy and check those designs, check what they do. You can find it for cheaper, but that's the average price. Designers, thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, to give it a thumbs up if you like this video. If you want more about e-design as well, let me know. If you have a specific topic that you want me to talk about, leave it in the comments down below. I've been needing your suggestions, you guys. And last but not least, self-promo, the Interior Design Styles Lookbook. It's still available on the website without the slipcover. Slipcover are out of stock officially. Learn 24 of the most popular interior design styles. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a great time of the day wherever you are in the world. Goodbye.